Hello, my fellow ray tracing lag spikes. I'm Mr. Church. In today's video, we're going to be looking at the Bottle and Cappy Great American Bash stuff in the Atom Shop. How very interesting this stuff is. And I'll be looking at some of the greatest hits, special stuff, and it's going to be so fun. And this is going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay, guys. So there's 3 things on the front page, and I find them all very interesting. We have the Birthday Bash bundle. Yikes, I want to say. I just want to say yikes, okay? Because if you have access to the news, yikes. And then we also have the Patriotic Bash bundle. Now, 2 days from today is Juneteenth. So let's celebrate America with a Patriotic Bash bundle. Let's celebrate our patriotism in the land of the free, in the home of the brave. Let's do that, actually, because, well, you know, it's not really a holiday right now. It's because you know how July 4th is usually when we have patriotic shit. So let's do it 2 days before Juneteenth, in my opinion. That's a good idea. What a great message that sounds. I think that's what we should do. And let's also have the firework weather station 2 days before Juneteenth that says missile cracker on it. That's so interesting. Because you know how fireworks are, because you know how it's shooting fireworks out of it. So that's a bit of a leap there to have that on it. I just think it's a bunch of really interesting things that individually I would be like, oh, that's an interesting coincidence. With all 3 of these things here, I'm thinking it's a little spooky. All 3 of these together, it's kind of interesting to me, and not in a good way. But here's the thing, guys. I already own a lot of the stuff in the Birthday Bash bundle. I'll point out some of the stuff that's good in it. I refuse to buy the Patriotic Bash bundle for a number of reasons. And one of the reasons I've alluded to already, but the other reason is this is a reskin of something we already have that I don't want. This is a reskin of something we already have 5 versions of. This is a skin for a weapon I'll never use. This is a reskin of an item we already have. This is a version of an item you can get free in game. This is a version of an item you can get free in game. And I'm not going to build this stuff ever. I'm not going to ever build this stuff. Okay, whoops. So, I'm not going to buy this bundle. I'll look at the weather station in game because there's a couple of things I wanted to point out right away. This picture is extremely misleading. This never looks like this in any biome at any time of day. I went and checked it out. There's the ones that are like really far away that you can see, but these big bright ones don't exist. And I find it stupid that you can see this thing shooting the fireworks out of it. Or I guess they're firecrackers, aren't they? It's shooting firecrackers, right? Since it's the missile cracker machine. Yeah. And so it's interesting because you can see the stuff getting shot out of it, but then the ones that are directly above us, you know, that would have been shot out of it, are never going off. There's not like big bright ones right overhead. There's just the ones in the distance. The ones in the distance are cool. And I wouldn't have a problem with the ones in the distance existing how they are if there weren't like ones being actively shot out of the machine, because where are those ones going? They don't blow up above you. So I feel like it's just like, it's like kind of a good idea, but they didn't really do a good job implementing it. What a surprise there. We've never seen that happen before. But yeah, in a couple of different regions of the map, it just kind of looks like it's fine. It looks like people are celebrating somewhere all around the world. But it's not really like the ones that should exist directly overhead. And then there's like the stuff coming out of the machine itself, which could probably interfere with a lot of builds and stuff. So, I don't know. I think this one's kind of weird. Yeah, it's also, weather stations are egregiously expensive. And I don't know if you guys remember, but when the first weather stations came out, there were 2,000 atoms, and we all complained. So they lowered them down to a cheap and measly 1,200 atoms. That's ridiculous, okay? And it's not bundled with this new stuff. And I say new stuff very, very lightly, okay? So we have the Patriotic Bash bundle, and this thing comes with the Patriotic player title prefix, Stars and Stripes Camping Canopies, Patriotic Bottle Plushie, Patriotic M79 Paint, Patriotic Picket Fence set, Patriotic Popper Popcorn Machine, Americana Nuka-Cola machine, and the Patriotic Cappy plushie. Okay? So I want to point out some stuff. Obviously, this is a canopy. This is the size of it in comparison to the picnic table. It's pretty large, honestly. This bed, this American bed, doesn't come in this bundle. It's just there to confuse you. So you have to make sure you read the fine print. And of course, you can buy the normal Cappy plushie. You can get it for free in game at Nuka World on Tour as a prize for doing the events there. Same with the normal bottle plushie. By the way, this American flag obviously doesn't come in the bundle, and this American suit doesn't come in the bundle. That's why they're wearing it in a bunch of these different pictures. This doesn't come in the bundle, guys. This cannon doesn't come in the bundle. This fence, someone is going to choose to buy this with their money. Someone bought this, is going to, and already has bought this with their money. That's so interesting, guys. That's so interesting. This is a reskin of the popcorn machine we already have. And obviously, all the other stuff, the Stars and Stripes stars, the red and blue balloons, and the white and red striped trash can and the flag, they don't come in the bundle. It's just this popcorn machine, which, by the way, does have to be directly wired to a generator to work. Now, the popcorn machine, we already have 17,000 versions of this, so that's another reason why I'm not going to buy this one, which I'll never put down in my camp ever. And over time, it collects popcorn, which reduces your hunger and thirst when you eat it, but there's no reason to, because perfect bubblegum is better, and if you're a ghoul, you don't get hungry, so it's not really a good use of anything. It's like, I mean, if I'm going to get a popcorn machine, it's not going to be red, white, and blue, because why would it be? And like I said, this suit doesn't come in the bundle. This is the grenade launcher, which everyone uses the grenade launcher, don't they? Honestly, this isn't even a bad skin, but it's just a weapon that no one uses. This blue is actually good compared to this horrific one that's on that. I don't like it. Now, this is a emote, and this doesn't come in the fucking bundle. This eagle doesn't come in the bundle. None of the stuff here comes in the bundle except for this floating, what is it called? A nuka-cola machine, Americana nuka-cola machine. Now, this thing is also a reskin of something we already have. The one we already have, it looks better. When you click on these things, it costs 15 caps, and it gives you a random nuka-cola product, and then it, I think, takes like 10 minutes or something to restock, so you can't just spam it or whatever. And nuka-cola doesn't have anything to do with America and American flags and stuff, so it's a crossover that doesn't make any sense. So the one I already have is fine for me, and I'm not going to buy this one. Altogether, this is one of the worst bundles I've seen, and it's one of the worst times they could have put it in the shop. So isn't that so great? I'm glad for that. Honestly, I don't mind. This guy's actually kind of cute, in my opinion. But again, I don't want to buy this stuff, okay? I don't want to buy this stuff because yikes. I just think it's a yikes situation, in my opinion. And if you want to bitch at me in the comment section, that's perfectly fine. I always appreciate the engagement, and I appreciate the support of the channel, and I always have. Now, this is the Birthday Bash bundle. Now, that's also interesting timing, isn't it, guys? Isn't it, guys? I'm not going to say anything about that, but it includes the birthday banner, the birthday suit, not like my birthday suit or your mom's that she was wearing last night, but it's actually like a suit coat in the game. You got the birthday photo mode frame, the birthday paint for the rolling pin that actually lined up on accident, the birthday boy player icon, yummy, birthday cake, birthday wallpaper, birthday cupcake backpack flair, and the birthday hat. So the birthday cake is actually a resource. You can only build one of these at your camp, and it collects birthday cake slices, which increase your AP, I believe, and that's about the size of it. It's actually kind of a cool thing because it's a resource. You can lock it. It's nice to have if you're doing birthday parties. And also this happy birthday sign you can put in your camp if you're going to do like a birthday themed camp for someone that they'll probably never see, actually, now that I think about it. Now we have this guy sitting in the corner taking a massive dump. Not sure what that's about. He's got his presents scattered around him, and he's got this horrific looking wallpaper that you probably would never want to have in your camp, because here's the thing, guys. When I throw a birthday party, I don't fucking redo the wallpaper in my house. I don't rip down the walls, all the stuff, the trims, and put on a birthday themed wallpaper for just that day. Okay, that doesn't happen. So it makes no sense to have a wallpaper that's based on it, in my opinion. Now, photo mode frames these are great. If you want to make a photo that you're taking worse, you can use a photo mode frame that'll put that shit around it so that people will think that you're a clown, which, sorry. Yeah, this is a Flair. That's fine, except the thing about this cupcake is it's like really tall and skinny, and why is it shaped that way? The birthday hat, that's fine. This was actually from a free in-game event that happened, and you had to wear this birthday hat and the suit, and you could do these things and unlock the cake. But instead, now you have to buy it if you didn't get that, which is totally fine. I recommend it, of course, because then you could look like this, and who wouldn't want to look like that? And that's, wow, that's everything that's featured today, and boy, am I proud to be an American today as well. Never more proud than I have been before. This is last week's stuff, the Tiki Bar set, which of course comes with a spacesuit paint. Don't forget that if you ever yeah. And then the greatest hits, we have the Daring Adventure bundle. This is stuff from a previous scoreboard, only a few items. The Smoked Bear arm paint, the Daring Jetpack, the Daring Adventure Secret Service Under Armour, and the Daring Adventure Pip-Boy paint. This time they accidentally said that the paint belonged to a Pip-Boy. That's so crazy, and it's that one. How yummy is that? This is a skin for a bear arm, which no one uses. And then this is a very strange jetpack, because it's all big and flumby. Now, the thing about flumbiness in a jetpack is it kind of will mesh down into a lot of your backpacks that you're wearing. And another thing to keep in mind, if you buy a special jetpack, you have to actually know the jetpack upgrade for your thing, and you have to pay Flux to put it on there. It's not a skin, it's a different jetpack. So you're putting a separate jetpack mod on, so it costs Flux, which is pretty stupid. I hate how they have that set up. This is a different skin for an Under Armour that no one wants to look at in the first place. So that's stuff you could get for 6 days. Grab it while it's hot. Now's your chance. There's also the Clean City Housing bundle. There's actually some good stuff in this bundle. That's why I own most of it already. There's the Clean Ranch housing kit, which comes with these ducks on it, probably, since that's what's in the picture. Now, this is actually a pretty good set because the roof has white drywall on the bottom side of it, so people will use it a lot of times for a drywall ceiling. And actually, I'm going to link this video where I did just that with the upstairs. I used the roofs as the upper floors, and I think it looks pretty good. But that's this ranch set that allows you to do that. The white picket fences is also nice because we have the clean ones and the dirty ones. So you can have a clean build or a kind of falling apart build, and you can stack up the dirty posts to have support beams if you want. Those are pretty nice. I don't actually own this retro wave carpet floor, but it's not bad. It's not a bad look, and God knows what this picture is supposed to be of. Probably the artificial wood paneling. I honestly think that the wood paneling is pretty good, and I use it quite a bit in my builds. The 4-poster bed. A lot of people like this bed. I don't use it. It only sleeps one person, even though it has 2 pillows. I do say that because there's a couple of beds now that 2 players can be in at the same time. And here we have this depressed bug sitting on this what is this again? This is probably the Golden Years rounded couch, since, yeah. And this over here, the Christmas tree, that doesn't come in this bundle, but the modern fireplace does. This thing ends right before the roof starts. There's a chunk of a gap, and then there's smoke that billows out of it. So keep that in mind when you're wanting to get this, that's going to be a design feature. And then see how these lights aren't lit up. How nice is that? Why they're candles sitting in wax, melting into the carpet. So that's the Clean City Housing bundle, and then now we have the True Power bundle. Now this is the True Power. The Enclave Light Machine Gun paint, the Enclave Power Armor Station, the Enclave Power Armor paint, the Enclave paint for the pump action, and the Enclave jetpack and the Enclave chassis display frame. Now, the only cool thing in this bundle, in my opinion, actually is this display frame. I think it looks really awesome. It's a power armor display, so you put the power on it and you can look at it when we walk by it. I think this paint's pretty cool as well, even though it does have the Enclave symbol on it. The other stuff in this is kind of goofy looking, like this guy. Basically, he's monkey. I don't know what's going on there. The American Patriot power armor paint set. Now, this can go on a bunch of different power armors, just none of the new ones. And so that's fine. That aged well. That aged well, just like this, putting this in the item shop today did. The Forbidden Dig site is a pretty nice shelter. I don't really build in shelters personally, but a lot of people like this one because the lighting in it is very dark. So you can kind of start off with darkness, and you can brighten it up if you need to. You can make some spooky builds in there. And let's keep in mind that it is spooky season, guys, and that's why we have the Haunted House kit, because it's almost the 4th of July, so let's get into the mood with a Haunted House kit. Yeah. This goes along with our theme of patriotism pretty well, in my opinion. But yeah, this is actually one of the cooler of the building sets, because it comes with this kind of like vine shit hanging down, which is pretty neat. And I think it's a pretty good kit. This chrome paint is for the minigun. That's so your minigun can be chrome and shiny. Isn't that nice? And this is the stalker outfit. That is more like it. This guy's nose is coming through. So that's something to keep in mind. You have a little area to breathe with. And as you can see, we've taken the suit and we've put all different pieces on different people. The outfit, the goggles, and the hole. And this black shovel backpack is actually pretty nice. I like when there you have things that are not super themed, because they fit a lot more different stuff. So if you want to have an outfit or whatever, and you want to have it kind of basic and not have any super theme stuff on it, this is a good one because it just has the shovel and not too much else. And that's everything that's on the greatest hits page. On the special, you will have a lawn flamingo for free if you don't own it yet. So let's make sure you can firmly grab that. There's a free supply package. There's going to be a free item every day. There's going to be a new item here every day. That's going to be 50% off the alleged original price. And I think that this week they're going to have like a bunch of wallpapers or something, because last week they had a bunch of floors. So that's pretty exciting and exhilarating. You can find one that you like. And I want to say once again, guys, I have no idea how long this is going to be in the shop. It doesn't have a date on it, but it does have the pavilion set if you were looking for that. It's in here, and it's one of the best kits in the game. And then there's the Fall Tool Shed bundle. And I do have a video where I looked at this, so I'm going to link this in the description. I know that this was not as in-depth of a video as usual, because the stuff they gave us is a weather machine and then reskinned stuff that we already own, and that's pretty embarrassing. But it's fine, because at least they didn't use all their patriotic stuff up now, so that they'll put Christmas stuff in the store the week of the 4th of July. They would never do that. So that means there's definitely going to be more patriotic stuff coming, and they had to spread it out over the weeks. That's the only reason why they did this week, I'm sure. I've been getting a few comments of people asking if I'm going to be doing any camp build videos anytime soon, and I really do appreciate that, and I'm glad you guys are missing the build videos. I enjoy making them. I haven't made any in a while for a couple of different reasons. There was real life things happening, and then they teased potentially getting rid of or relaxing build restrictions, and I didn't want to make something super complicated and complex and then upload it and then have them the next day remove all restrictions, and then all that work would have been for nothing. So I was going to wait and see, well, if they relax building restrictions, then the things I want to make, I'll be able to make them much better anyway. So I was kind of waiting on that, and then the update happened, and then that didn't happen, and now it's looking like that is going to be coming at near the end of the year, in the fall or something. So I am going to be working on new builds over the summer. So that's the answer to those questions you've been inquiring about. I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to my patrons and channel members for your support. If it wasn't for your support, I genuinely would not be able to be making these videos, and I wouldn't be able to be buying stuff that I will never build again in the Atom Shop, so that I can show you guys what it looks like, and so that I can be the cautionary tale that you guys can look to for learning and wisdom. If you're interested in supporting the channel in that way, the link for that will be in the description. But honestly, just liking, commenting, subscribing, those things all help the channel immensely. And I really do appreciate the support. If you guys aren't in the Discord, make sure you're joining the Discord. It's a really great community. And also, I stream on Twitch. You should follow me on Twitch. And I'll see you guys in the next video.